Parenting educators working with families are busy professionals, and they have a lot to do when they're working with parents. And so these cards were a tool that was developed to help them when they're working with families. Our home visitors do a lot of goal setting with families, and so some families we work with struggle with the idea of setting goals. I mean, it's not something that everybody's been asked before, and they may not know even what we're talking about when we ask them to set a goal. So these cards are a nice visual. There's some words on the cards, but they're also pictures. And so if there's literacy issues or even comprehension issues, or if a parent just has never thought about setting goals before,
it's really used with every family because it's a fun thing to do. The first thing that we do is we talk about values. We talk about what kind of qualities you'd like your child to be. So you're thinking ahead. Sometimes people don't really have any forward thinking about past, how am I going to get my milk today, or how am I going to pay my bills? But if you start to think about with your child, what kind of a person do you want your child to become?
This product was designed by parent educators that work with families every day. They see families for years. They're working with these different groups of parents in home visit situations. And so they came up with these because they, as part of their jobs, the families need to set goals. And so they develop a tool to make that easier for the families and for the educator as well. These cards really help families, parents, focus on something specific and something concrete for a moment, if you will, to be able to look at some cards and say, let's say we're talking about the goal setting for the parent, to be able to look at a card that gives them some words, some ideas, to help them just focus on a small task for a minute.
Since it makes the process so concrete, it helps families to feel successful. And once they've felt successful, then they can look at goals as something that they want to work towards.
It's difficult to affect change in your own life without having goals for what those changes might be. And so as the parent educators work with the families come up with ideas for things they want in their lives, things that they want to have or do with or for their family, or ways they may want to change. And so if the ideas come from the parents themselves, things that they've thought of, there's a better chance that they're going to have some success. They're so accessible and sort of fun to use. They have a nice feeling to them, and they're nice to look at. And so they're kind of a fun tool. I think that the parent educator enjoys using it, but also the families enjoy them. They're just, when you lay them out, they're just so appealing. And so it's not something that anyone would feel intimidated by using. So yeah, I think they're really fun.